Hello, everybody. Happy Monday. As you guys can tell, I'm pretty excited about today's special guest and to be able to spotlight her. Hopefully, we can give justice to everything that she's done to not only our industry, but in her career. But hello, Miss Gail Nicholls. Welcome to Tech Talk Live.
Hi.
Hello. Oh my goodness. I have been following you forever, and not only in the magazines, but on social media. And I love the idea that we can connect together like this. And
No,
so,
it's great. It
yes.
really
And
is
so
great.
I can't wait to share your story. Thank you so much for taking the time today
Oh,
to
it's
do
exciting.
this. Yes. So let's get started. What
Yeah.
even got you? I mean, I've read your bio, and so I kind of want you to even go back before you got into the nail industry, what your career path was, why did you choose to change it, and kind of how did you get started in the beauty industry?
Wow. When I left school, I actually went to work for my mum, who had her own florist, and I absolutely loved working there. But as a young girl, then I was obviously into having my own nails done. And at that time, it was like silk and fiberglass
Yes.
nails. I don't know if you remember that. I mean, it's not
I
as much known as today, but
mhm.
back then, like 20 years ago, it was all silk and fiberglass.
Mhm.
And and I absolutely loved having my nails. And I thought, I'd love to learn how to do this. I really would love to learn. So I took myself off to our local college and I did my NVQs. But at the same time, I also did a nail art NVQ, which they ran alongside the
Okay.
nail course as well. And oh my god, it was a game changer for me. I absolutely loved it. And then I started off with doing friends and family, as you do to start
Yep.
off with.
Yep.
And then I just literally went on to doing a bit of mobile, and word of mouth just got round, and that was it. That was the start of it, really.
Yeah.
And then I thought, because when you're out mobile, you're carrying everything around, and it's such a lot to take with you because you have to have everything with you for that
Hmm.
client, because you don't know what they want from one client to the next.
Yep.
So I thought there's got to be an easier way here. So then the opportunity came up to open my first salon. It just was meant to be. And so that was the first stage of my sort of building up my career.
Yeah.
And I had the salon, like for about 7 years, something like that. And it was just amazing. I loved it. I loved meeting the people. We had, and like the girls that worked there, it was brilliant. We had this great sort of bond together.
Hmm.
It was amazing. And then I closed the shop about 12 years ago now. And then I worked from home due to circumstances which was beyond my control, really.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously, I had a young family as well at that time. And so it was a lot easy. It made life a lot easier for me. But my clients kept coming to me from at home, and we loved it. It was great, and I've really settled into it.
Good.
And then came along Gemma into
Oh,
my
no,
life.
wait. Let's
All
talk
right.
about that in a minute because that
Oh,
goes
good.
into a whole other aspect of your career.
Okay.
When you very first decided, and I think you said, were you in your 30s when you decided to become a tech?
Yes, I
Yeah. And
was.
so that's a big life change and to go back to
Absolutely.
school. Yeah. And so at that time, how did you choose what school you wanted to go to? Did you do some research? Did you just find a local one to do?
Well, I know our local college, they did the nail enhancement course, the NVQs back then. To me, that was the most local one. So obviously, I contacted them, got all the information, the research that I needed,
Yeah.
and that was it. It was just book me on now.
Yeah. And so then when you first started getting clients in and building up the clientele, did you have confidence or did the confidence come along the way?
came along the way. I think it's just a matter of building your confidence. At
Yeah.
first, because obviously it's a big thing. It is,
Yeah.
the nail industry, and it is. You have to like build it up as you go along. It's
Yeah.
not something that just happens just like that. I don't think you just have to build it as you go along. Like,
It's amazing because when I talk with other people who've won many competitions and they're as an educator and been in the industry, as long as I have or a little bit less there, the main question people usually ask me is like, Amy, where do you get your confidence? And I'm like, it didn't come from within.
no,
It came from trial and error and just sticking with it
yeah,
and then narrowing it down to a specialty. What did I want to specialize in? Getting that detailed training and then the
yeah,
feedback that I got from people built the confidence. And then I started being more confident in myself. And so
yeah.
um, I think that's so important to share that the confidence isn't automatic.
It's a
And
learning curve as you go along. You
yeah,
learn from your mistakes as well as you go along again. So
yeah.
yeah,
And then I think once you build the confidence, then you can go more into the next level of things. And so when you decided to kind of narrow down, like, did you start off doing silk rafts and stuff that you had kind of known that you had already worn? Or did you start off going, I want to learn everything? Or did you start off with kind of just saying, I want to learn one thing at a time and just specialize one thing at a time?
it was sort of very basic at first for me, because obviously you see things like on YouTube, and obviously going to the big shows and all that. And the first thing that sort of caught my eye was obviously when I went to our local UK beauty show in Birmingham. I loved going there. You see lots and lots and lots of things to do with the industry, whether it be nail or beauty. And I used to stand behind the barriers of the competitors' side, like watching the competitions going on. And I used to think, I'd love to have a go at that. But
Yeah.
then I used to think, oh, maybe not. I'll be a bit nervous, sort of thing. But watching other nail techs like in the industry that are like well established and well known, that sort of thing, I used to think, oh, that is so nice. What a great job to be in. And I think it was them that sort of gave me the inspiration, basically, to sort of push myself forward, to learn, to better myself. And you're always learning in this industry,
Yeah.
constantly learning. No matter how long you've been in it, you are constantly learning. And I advise anybody to carry on and book yourself on all these courses that are available, because it's the way forward. Otherwise, you'll get stuck in that rut, and you won't get yourself out of it. But if it's something that you love and it's a passion, and you drive yourself forward
Yeah.
to improve your skills, improve anything, get
Yeah.
yourself. I just love what I do.
Yeah. And
Mm-hmm.
whether it's YouTube, maybe the finances are hard. We all know what it's like to be a mom and
Mm.
have to balance, the finances of homework and where we want to be in our career. And there are many things on social media that you can get free education. Just know
Yeah,
the quality of
yeah,
the educator that's teaching. But
yeah.
also with that, there's something about being live with somebody, with the instructor, with their head over your shoulder,
Oh
hands on,
yeah.
showing you now look at it from this angle and look at it from this angle and this is what I see and this is how you fix that. And there's nothing that beats that. So I know that financially it can be very tough, but
Yeah.
I also know that is at that moment that you invest in yourself and you save up and you make it a priority,
Very
it's
rewarding.
unreal how much it changes
Yeah,
your whole entire career. So
yeah.
I love it.
Full circle.
Yes, yes. Okay, so at some point in time, you had your salon, and obviously it was successful. I think you had said the building had sold or under new management or something
Yeah.
like that. And so you
New
were
landlords
forced,
at that time. Yeah.
yeah, so you were forced to make this change. Here you think
Unfortunately,
you
yeah.
worked so hard and you have it where you
Oh,
want, and then poof.
it was just like the rug was pulled from underneath my feet, and there was nothing I could do about it. And it was like I built up this business for like 7 years, and I absolutely loved it. But unfortunately, it was just taken away from me due to circumstances like beyond my control. The building was sold and new landlords, but they had other ideas for the building itself. So that was it.
Yeah.
Gone.
So was there a hidden blessing in all of that?
Absolutely.
There always
as,
is, right?
as one door closes, another one opens.
Yeah. So share that with
was,
us. You glow when
oh,
you just said that.
it was just, well, you don't see it at the time. You don't
Mhm.
see it, and you just think, oh, my life's just gone full circle, and what am I going to do? You think the worst, but obviously, my husband built me my salon at home in the
Mhm.
garage. So I was all set up to start again, start afresh. Although my clients were lovely, they were very supportive. They followed me, they came to the house, and then, like I said, as one door closed, another one opened really wide for me, with a certain person who I am so ever grateful for. She is amazing. She's a true friend, and she's just changed my life, my world in the nail industry. And I can't thank her enough, and she knows that.
Well, she's watching. I just saw her pop
Is
on.
she?
Yes. So
Oh,
So
lovely.
Gemma is amazing. And I can tell you, she sent me some glitters about a year and a half ago, just as a gift. And I did get to interview her as well. And not
Yes.
only her passion for the industry, but that she's taken it to the next level to share with other people through her experiences and
Yeah.
bring them on board as a team and
Yeah.
then share that on. So her glitters changed my career. Her glitters, like, it might be
Yeah.
something so little that somebody touches you, but I can tell you, and she knows this, I love the glitters from the nail team, what
She's
they've
yeah, she
created.
works so hard. She does. She's amazing. And I mean, she she creates these things that a nail tech needs,
Yes.
and she works so hard behind the scenes. She does. She
Yeah.
really does.
And so how did
Lovely.
you meet Gemma and how did that all the next
Well,
level of your career come to fruition?
what happened was, as a normal nail tech going back then, I used to stalk her. So it was like watching her on YouTube,
Yeah.
and everything when she was on there doing her videos and that. And I think, if I remember rightly, I'm going back quite a few years now. I think I sent her a friend's request, because I found her on Facebook and she accepted it, and I'm like, oh, Gemma's accepted me. So then she was like, obviously watching my page, and she must have seen my work, and then she just messaged me out the blue, and it was like, have you ever thought about competing? And I'm like, I'd love to, but I don't think I've got the nerve to do it, sort of thing. And she says, come up to me and come and do a competition training course with me. And I'm like, oh my God. And I was literally jumping around the house. And my husband thought I'd gone loopy. I said, no, you don't get it. You don't understand. I said, it's Gemma. Gemma's messaged me and she wants to get me up there to do a competition training with that. Well, I just plucked up the courage, booked some train tickets because I didn't know. I'm the sort of person who doesn't like driving places that I don't know where to get to. But
Hmm.
now I can drive up there with my eyes closed because it's quite easy now. I
Yeah.
keep going up there nearly every week. I'm up there. But yeah, we got up there, went on the course, and I was like, oh my God, it's Gemma. I was so taken back by it. And that was it. It was just the start of this career for me. How it's gone from strength to strength. She's the one person that's pushed me.
Yeah. And isn't it so true that and I've interviewed Gemma, and you know what? She started in the same place. She's a nail
Yeah,
tech just like us.
yeah.
It's she never expected for all of us to look at her in awe and put her on this pedestal.
No,
But she also says
exactly.
on here that she's laughing and crying at the same time.
Yeah,
And it's because she gets it. And I think that's what makes the best educators are the ones that truly have gone through the steps and the ups and the downs and the turmoils of business and trying to build the clientele and
Yeah.
trying to get to the next level and kind of that fight, but we want it. We beg
Yeah.
for that. And to be successful in that, have other people look up at you in that same mannerism, it's fabulous. But
Yeah.
Gail, you know that a lot of people like myself have you up on that same pedestal, that if I was to meet you, I'd be like, oh my
No.
God, it's Gail.
No.
Yes, no, I'm absolutely serious. And I would bet the
No
comments through here
way.
will say the same thing. And so, but that's what makes it so real, is that we can relate because we've been there. And I think if you've been in the industry for a while and you've had your experiences, and it almost sadly is almost like you've had a loss or a big change at some point in time that makes you have to rebuild. At that
Yeah.
point in time, and you rebuilt and you're successful and you're on to the next steps, it's your time to share.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely.
you've done that. And so that's
Yeah.
how I discovered you, is because you're out there sharing that same thing from your experiences.
With a
Love
passion.
it. Yes,
With
I love
an
it.
absolute passion. I love my work. I love, creating nails for my clients, my wonderful clients and everything. But my passion is also my teaching.
Yeah.
Now, I took myself off and I got my AET and my assessor's qualification, and I absolutely love teaching new upcoming nail techs, even nail techs that need that bit of a help, that have lost their confidence, lost their way.
Yes.
That sort of, I love it. And I love to see their faces just beam when they've got this light bulb moment when you show them, and it's like, yes, done it.
Yeah.
It just gives you
Exactly.
such a like satisfaction to think, yes, you've
Yeah.
done it. And you can, the faces and the comments and like their feedback back
Hmm.
after they've been to you, for a one-to-one or a group, it's lovely. It just makes, it's job satisfaction at the end of the day.
Yeah. And
Mm.
I've heard that saying for years that says those that can't teach, and I'm like, no, 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 no. Those that have experienced it over and over and have gone through the ups and the downs of, their career and all of that, if they finally find that success and they
Yeah,
finally get to a point that they're confident in what they're doing, it's their time to teach. It's their time to share. That's how we continue this industry the way that it is
absolutely.
if
They're our
they,
future.
yeah,
They're our future.
yes,
And it's nice
exactly.
that they come to you because they want to be taught the way, what you've learned as
Yeah,
well. And to me, I think it's such an honor to be
yes,
asked, and it's lovely. It's so nice. I had a
yes,
young girl in today, and again, she'd done a conversion course, and she absolutely nailed it after I'd shown, just explained everything to her, from the beginning to picking up the beads and everything. And by the end of the day, she was like beaming and full of it and couldn't wait to make a start on it. It was great.
yes.
It's
That's my
lovely. I
favorite.
love it.
So in the comments here that people have joined us live, which thank you guys so much for joining us live today. Robin says, I really needed to hear this today. I'm still fighting every day to be a nail tech, and this reminds me to never give up. And that's exactly what this is about.
Yeah.
So along the way, did you find that there was people that just constantly stayed as your mentor? And obviously with Gemma, she pulled you into a team setting.
Yeah.
And we find that that's what it takes to get to the next level, is find a mentor, get
Yeah.
in with a company as an educator, get that additional education, and then become part of a team like that. We call it, in our group, we call it the Nail Tribe. And so I love that. So do you find that that kind of is the case?
I love it. I love being in a team. I love that we can share anything with each other. If it, the slightest question, whether it being like trivial or whatever, it's nice that we can like have this group chat or whatever. We've got a page or whatever where we can share whatever we want to, or the slightest question. If you sort of have like a mental block and you think, am I right? What do I do it this way or do it that way? We've got each other's backs,
Yes.
and it's nice because, oh yeah, that's it. And it's
Yeah.
great. I
And
love
this
working
is,
in the work. Love I love working in a team. It's
yeah.
great.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. In
Yeah,
fact, when I went from my full salon to a solo tech, I did feel like, and I still feel like there's a big portion that's missing in my career. And
mm,
we're not going to move, and I'm not going to build up a big salon in this very tiny town that I'm in. And so this is where my future is. But I get to travel around and obviously do classes and trade shows and stuff. So I get to meet the members of my team. My team is
yeah,
all online. I call it
yeah,
online, like online dating.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. So Gemma is on here and she says Gail is an amazing teacher. Alexandra is on here and she says you have been my rock, Gail. I love
oh,
that.
that's
Let's
so
see.
nice.
So there, oh my goodness, thank you guys so much for joining in. Gemma also says we share personal and technical problems. It's a family, and isn't
Yeah,
that so true? Yes.
now team family.
So
Yeah,
so you competed a lot, and obviously proof from behind you is proof of some of the competitions that you've done as well,
yeah.
and winning, and talk to us about what's the good and the bad with the competing, and do you still compete, or do you want to get into judging?
I love competing. Absolutely
Yeah.
love it, and I'll keep competing as long as I can. So there's good and bad in everything, really, isn't there? But I do love competing. Plus, as well, you meet a lot of nail techs in the industry, up and down the country, and then it's nice when you meet that nice person. I've met such a lot in the country, in the UK. Scarlett's one, obviously. Oh, there's
Yes.
loads and loads and loads that I've met,
Oh yeah.
and it's nice that you get that support as well from each other. Um, Last year, I did quite well last year. I must admit. There was a new UK competition that we entered, local to the Midlands, and it was their first ever big UK competition that they held, and I placed a first and a second there, which is these trophies here. That was a photographic, and then there was a new category with the crystal bling, which seems to be one of the main new competitions in a lot of competitions now, where they can decorate the nails with all lots of crystals and
Mhm.
unusual designs. They were beautiful. Some of the nails were absolutely stunning. Um, that was really good, a good competition. I enjoyed that one, and I'm entering that one again this year.
Yes.
So that's in June this year, that is. Um, the other big competition that I did last year was Nail Olympia in
Oh,
London. Um, there was over 800 competitors, I do believe. It's on a massive
yeah.
scale. It really, really was the first time I've ever entered this competition, and I was mad enough to enter, I think, 15 competitions in that weekend.
Oh my gosh, the stress that you must have had to organize and plan for all of that.
But I had a good support,
Mhm.
really good support
Yep.
team behind me. Gemma was my main support there, and we both went down on the Friday, and then the other educators of the nail team and like some the ambassadors, they came down as well, and they came to be like my hand models as well, because
Yeah.
your models are probably one of the hardest things to organize, and as long as they're available and they can come down as well, it's one of the hardest things that, as a nail tech who's competing, to sort out. And obviously with them coming down for the weekend, it's the organisation of like staying somewhere in a hotel and all that involved into it as well. Long days as well, like
Yeah.
you had to be there for like 7:30 in the morning, and you didn't finish till 6 o'clock on the evening,
Yeah.
and a lot of competitions to get through throughout the day. So it was Saturday a 4 day, Sunday and Monday. So it was very, very tiring, I must admit, but I had a good support group with
Yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Amazing. And Gemma was, again, was my model for most of them.
Which she does have beautiful nail beds. I have
She,
seen that.
well, that's another thing.
Yeah.
By the
Yeah.
time we finished, because the nails were on, off, on, off, on, off for different competitions.
Oh,
She was a trooper. She really was a trooper that weekend. And on the last day, I did the fantasy category. I don't know if you know about the fantasy,
yeah.
where you dress, you model up, you do the makeup and the hair, and also you have to organise the costume to go with the theme that you're doing. So I did a lot of like animals, creatures, and things like that, woodland animals on the nails, and so we dressed Gemma up as well, all in this green, lovely dress and that, but they were quite a weight on the hands,
Oh, I bet.
and the model has to stand there for about an hour, literally in that position,
Mhm.
holding them, and because they're quite heavy, and she was shaking like this. So in the end, they did get chairs for all the models that were standing there, because the models have such a hard job as well.
They
They,
do.
yeah, they really do. They have such a hard job. It's not just you putting the nails on. They have the hardest job, literally displaying your work, and they
Yeah.
have to have this pose for a good hour at least. While the judges are walking around and they're taking photographs, and then once that's been done, then the public get a chance to go and have a look round as well. So
Yeah.
fair play, she was a good one. And then obviously at the end, when the results were in and I placed third with that, I was just, it was just like so emotional. It really, really was. It was
Yeah.
lovely to come away with something. Um, that's it there.
Yes.
My Nail
Congratulations.
Olympia medal. Yeah.
Yes. It reminds me of a funny story. The very first competition that I did that was big, it was in Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I believe it was the Nail Pro Cup, I believe. Anyways, I did fantasy as well.
Yeah.
And my
Oh yeah.
model's name was Annie, and she was just so petite and beautiful, and it worked perfectly because it was a whimsical wonderland, and she was a fairy in the middle of this winter wonderland.
Yeah.
And it was the first time I had no clue what I was getting into of
Yeah.
understanding
Exactly.
truly the fantasy side of it. I didn't place, but I love the judges sheet that I got. But I remember her at some point in time was like, I need to use the restroom. Now these nails are so
There's no
long and
way, can you?
so overdone that it was like, you're not allowed. And
Yeah.
sometimes they can't leave that area.
No, you can't
And so
leave the
in this
competition
particular
area.
case, that Annie and I got a little bonded, let's just say that, because I had to assist her in the process. And we never understand. We know the nerves and everything that we go through, but sometimes our models, they have more anxiety than what we do. They want to represent and
Yeah.
reflect you the
Yeah.
best that they can. And so
Yeah.
there's usually some funny story when it comes to the tech and
Oh,
the
we've
model
got
that
we've
they
got
have.
a few.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've got a few that we sort of keep to ourselves.
Yeah, exactly. Gemma said she was dressed like a tree and that she was proud of you, that you did really well. And you actually sent me those pictures a while back,
I did.
and they are stunning. I remember seeing them online and looking in at them, but until you just said it, I didn't even realize that was Gemma was your model. I just
Yeah, yeah,
saw the
yeah.
entire thing because there was
It
so
was.
much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wonderful. So out of all the competitions that you do, what seems to be your favorite? What category, I should say?
I love anything art wise. Structure, I'll have a go, but I prefer the art side of any competition. So, like your mixed media boxes, I love doing those.
Hmm.
I think they're my favourite because you can sit at home and just pick them up when you want to, and just add a little bit more to it. I might start it like months before the actual competition itself, and then like just pick it up every now and then and have a little go with it and keep adding to it. I love doing them, but I do start those sort of boxes, that sort of competition work, well in advance. I mean, like this one, this was an Olympia competition I did last year. So a lot of that's all hand painted. Can you see it?
Yeah, and then 3D on top
Yeah,
of that,
3D
all
on
the
top
dimensions.
as well. And again, so the hours do go into something like that because
Yeah.
you're creative as well. So little bit by little bit, I like to do. It might take me weeks to do something like that. It's not just an overnight thing, you know, it's just
Yeah.
as and when you've got the time to do it, or, you know, but it's something that I find very relaxing to do.
Yep.
I really, it's my, I can escape in my little workroom and just shut the door, and I can be sat in here till late at night sometimes. I don't even realise what the
Yeah.
time is by the time I finish, because I've got so enthralled in doing this, and you forget the time, you forget everything, and I think, oh, I must go to bed.
Yes. You know, I encourage and kind of push people a lot into trying
Yeah,
competitions, even like we do the
yeah,
hashtag one nail, one canvas, ones that you can do on your own. I am one of the perfect examples that I had to quit competing. In-person competitions is so much anxiety for me that I get there, I shake, I
yeah,
sweat, I do not ever do my best. But my favorite part is the judges' sheets. I always learn from that, and it makes me a
yeah.
better salon
The
tech as
feedback.
well, even
Yeah,
if I'm doing more something extreme. But the
yeah,
competitions that I tend to do these days are through the nail magazines, through the nail groups, you know, creating some of them myself as well. And I agree with you. There's something that's more calming about it. I
yeah.
enjoy it. I still get some anxiety about turning it in, but nothing at all like being there in person. So,
No,
so those of you like you that go in and still compete and are there in person and under the deadline and all the noise and out of your comfort zone, I applaud you because that like it's created too much. Like talking about it makes anxiety.
yeah, it is quite nerve wracking. It is, and Gemma will tell you, I really do shake a lot. I mean, any competition that I've entered and she's been about, my hands are, I'm like this, literally like this, and
Yeah.
then it takes me about, I don't know, 10-15 minutes sometimes into the competition before I start to settle down. You
Yeah.
know, but the more you do, then I think your nerves sort of calm down a little bit more as well. But
Yeah.
it is. But I encourage anybody to have a go. And what I
Yeah.
like about the competitions now, especially like the Midlands one as well, they do like a novice
Mhm.
section. So
Mhm.
anybody that's wanted to compete, have never put the courage up to have a go at, and have never done it but would like to do it, go for the novice one, because it's
Yeah.
such an experience, and they will get the bug. They will. It's
Yeah.
just one of,
You
yeah,
definitely want to do it again. I still have the
yeah,
urge to want to do it
yeah,
again, but then I'm
yeah,
like, I don't know. And I think there was a long part of my career that I felt like I had to almost prove who I was in the industry. But I think after I was successful with the salon side of it, I got that confidence that I felt like I don't have to prove
no,
anything. It was
nothing.
just this inner thing that I had.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just be you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
just be
And so
you.
find out what works best for you and go from there. Nikki says it's so lovely to put a face to your name. They love that
Oh,
you're live. That's so wonderful. I love that.
no,
Um,
lovely.
yeah. Deb says I would be so stressed doing something like that. But if you've never tried it, you don't know. Some people go
Exactly.
there and they're used to that.
Exactly. Yeah.
They thrive on it. They love the music and they get into it and stuff.
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah.
I'm the one holding my brush on my chin like this because I'm shaking so bad. So, and so try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just takes some. I mean, some of the judges are really, really good. Don't get me wrong. And I mean, like I've sat in competitions and I'm literally shaking, and then you feel this hand on your shoulders, as if to say, "Calm,
Yeah. Yeah.
calm down. You're fine."
Yeah. And one of the things with me too is I had a team within my salon, but I had never reached out to a company at that time. I never had true proper education from a company, never had the additional team and that kind of support. And I had support, but they were always my models. It was a different way. And so I really do think that if you're going to get into the competition arena, I think it's important to do the detailed training, read the judges sheets and the rules of what they're looking for, because
Very
sometimes
important.
it
Yeah.
can be one little thing. Maybe your model had a tattoo on her wrist and they
Yeah.
were supposed to be covered up and you were docked points for that. That could have been your
Yeah.
make it or break it. Your nails were fabulous,
Yeah.
but because you didn't read the rules in detail.
Exactly. And the thing is as well, they constantly change the rules
Yeah.
year after year. So you might think, oh, you going back to the last year's competition and you've read the rules and you'll think, oh, I remember that. But they change it. They're
Mhm.
tricky. They really are. So you're always best to read them from fresh every year because the rules do change. And the
Yeah.
slightest mistake you'll lose points.
Yeah. So Gemma and Nicole and all of them they're saying that we need to compete in the US and they're like, let's book a flight, let's go. So you guys,
Yes,
yes,
that would be
absolutely.
great.
Yes.
Yeah,
And so
absolutely. Why not? Why not?
yeah, so
That's what we
speaking of
should do.
making plans and starting new things, what's next for you? What's on your plate right now?
Well, how long have you got?
Well, all day.
So, well, after like 12 years working from home, um, I'm about to open another salon stroke training centre stroke wholesalers.
Yes, I love it. Congratulations on
Thank
that.
you. Very exciting. We are going to be like the nail team, part of
Mhm.
Gemma, obviously, and it's going to be the nail team Midlands
Yes.
in the area. So, like, we're basically smack bang in the middle of the UK,
Oh,
and it's so easy to find off the motorways and that. So, I can't wait for this new adventure. Again, it's like another door's just opened up again for me, the opportunity. So at the moment, the building work in the academy, it's nearly finished. So last week I was down there trying to put flat packed furniture up, and it took me literally all of an afternoon of like 4 or 5 hours to put one desk up.
oh my goodness.
I'm not used to this. I needed my husband to come and help me, but he was
Yeah.
at work. But yeah, so we're in the middle of just putting the furniture up together now. And literally, last year the building came along, and I went to have a look at it, and it was just bare brick. It was an old building that's been empty for about 10 years. It used to be an old laundrette,
Yeah.
and it's just basically been converted, and it looks amazing. It really does. There's some hard work gone into
Yeah.
it, and I just can't wait. So we open up on the 28th of February in
Just around the
Tamworth.
corner. Yeah.
So, and then we're having a big open day as well for nailtechs to come and visit and see what's there available in the wholesale shop. And obviously with Gems is the new gel system that Gemma has created herself. So the salon is going to be called Gems as well.
Oh,
And yeah, so really, really looking forward to it for our little adventure together, sort of thing. And so excited. It's like
yes.
it's coming true. We're nearly there. Two
You know,
weeks to go.
I love that, earlier you shared that you built up your salon, you had it for 7 years, and then, it just kind of
Yeah,
crashed down. But like you said, the hidden blessings and all of that where you get to
yeah,
start all over,
yeah.
sometimes we get complacent. Do you think that if that building would not have sold, that you would still be doing the same thing that you were before? Or do you think that you would have followed down this path? Or do you think because of that change, it forced you down to this path? I
Good,
guess
good
sometimes we
question.
never know.
I don't know. I think realistically, if I hadn't have got out of that building, then maybe I would have still been there and not be where I am today. But
Yeah.
I always believe your path is it's marked out for you,
Absolutely.
and I really do believe that. And things happen for a reason.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
completely agree. I do know that if I had not moved with my husband 3 years ago, for us to have live in our where we wanted to retire for our life, I would not have put myself out there on social media the way that I did. I was
yeah,
too busy, and I
yeah,
had a routine, and I had a full salon. Like everything was good. I already felt successful, and I
yeah,
was still sharing. I was
exactly.
teaching
Yeah.
classes locally, but it took that change for me
Mm,
to go, God, what do I want to do now? And there's always
yeah,
something in the back of your head and in your heart that you've always wanted to do, but maybe you didn't
yeah,
have the confidence, you didn't have the time. So
yeah,
I always love hearing stories like yours where you're like, you know, yeah, these little blessings. And like you said, I believe the
yeah.
same thing. I think our path is there for us. We just have to be patient.
Yeah, absolutely, and it will happen when you're unexpectedly, not looking for it as such. Things will happen
Yeah,
on the
yeah.
good side, and in the right direction. But again, like I said, I've got Gemma to thank for that. I love to be.
I love it. And isn't it so true? We're always still learning. We always get to
Yeah,
re-begin and restart. And no matter how many years you've been in the industry or if you're brand new, just
yeah,
know, keep that in mind that
yeah,
always, always put yourself out there. This is an ever-changing industry. And if
yeah.
you're not willing to play and enjoy that, it shows. And
Yes,
so when
exactly.
you,
You
yeah,
have
when
to
you,
better yourself. I mean, as an educator as well, and like any educator would still go on courses to better themselves so we can pass on what we learn to other nail techs as well.
yeah,
We've done some training with some really good, nail techs really. We're in June. We're off to do some training with Christina Uvari.
yes,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're doing a 2-day training with her.
Wow,
I
yeah.
know, that is just, I can't wait. We did last year, we did it with Barbara, her sister, and then
Okay.
this year, so she's coming to the UK and doing a 2-day course with her, with Gemma as well. Gemma's going, so we're both going to this 2-day event. I can't wait for that. Again, I think it's an art day as well as a like a shapes, I think it is as well. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh, I love it. I love it. I Becky Bunnell and I teamed up this year and we're doing a series of, I call it a mini tour around
yeah, I've
five
seen that.
different
Yeah,
states. And we've done it individually, but we've
mm,
never teamed up before. And we teach the same. We've met each other many times and we just decided, you know what, let's just go for it. And
yeah,
oh my gosh, like
yeah,
it's already been that like the feedback and the confidence is already there of like we're on the right path of what we're
yeah,
supposed to do, and so it's pretty
absolutely.
exciting.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
nice when there's two of you, so two of you can get together and you can create these courses, these like tours and everything, can't you? It's great
yeah,
because people
yeah,
want to know, people want to learn.
yeah. And what's incredible about what I get to do is I'm a part of many teams, because
Mm,
not only did I team up with Becky for this, but there's other people that I've teamed up and even with Light Elegance to do something else. So it's like
yeah,
all these different levels of the expertise or what I want to share, I get to do it in different group settings. And so
mm,
it's always empowering me. It's always keeping me wanting to be better too, because I don't want to let the other person down.
yeah,
And that's, one of those insecurities, but yet strengths that I have. Like I'm true to my word and I'm going to follow through with what I say. And it's
yeah,
because I'm accountable to them. And
yeah.
so I love working together in a team aspect. And sometimes
I do.
we're a part of a whole bunch of little groups.
Yeah, I just love it. It's just like a little family, isn't it?
Yeah. In fact,
Yes, it's
Alexandra
great.
said she can't wait. It's going to be fabulous to be a part of you and Gemma's team. So exactly what we're talking about is, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Oh my goodness. I've been wanting to meet you for quite some time and obviously would love to meet you more in person. I
Yes.
keep saying that
That's the next thing.
I'm gonna come over and I want to go to Nail Olympia. Obviously not as a
Yes,
competitor. I just want to go there and
you
experience
should.
it. And so
Definitely. Well, I shall
I'll
be
be
there
there
this
someday.
year again. I'm hoping to get down there to compete again. Perhaps not as many, but I will be there.
Yes. Oh, I love it. Gail, is there anything that for the new techs or somebody who's feeling like they've just kind of lost their mojo and maybe they've been in the industry for a while, do you have some words of wisdom that you could share just to keep them, I don't know, kind of coming up out of that darkness and start to shine again?
Yeah. Well, I would obviously advise them to do the homework on an educator if it's in their area. I mean, we as a nail team, we have educators up and down the country who are there to help anybody that's sort of got a little bit lost along the
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
and they need that little bit of a help, bit of a push in the right direction. You know, get in touch with that educator. Ask them for some advice, anything that they're struggling with, and then obviously book yourself on some courses. Some refresher courses are really good to help build up your confidence and just go over whatever you're struggling with. um, I think a one-to-one is always good for somebody like that. They may feel nervous in a group because you get
Mhm.
different types of learners.
Yeah.
So where if they offer a one-to-one like we do, you're sat with that person, you can make them feel at ease. I mean, the girl today that came, she was very, very nervous this morning. She said, "I'm really nervous." I said, "Why are you nervous? It's just me."
Yeah.
And I tried to make her at ease. I made her a cup of coffee and a model a cup of coffee, and we got chit chatting away. And by an hour into it, she felt really calm,
Yeah.
and she really did get on with it. And she went out of here smiling, and she's messaged me, and she couldn't thank me enough, and that's lovely. So
Yeah.
it is a good way of building your confidence. Is get yourself on a course, where they're there to help you. We're there to help you. We're there constantly, the nail team. If you message any of us or message Gemma, message the nail team page, we're there and we will help anybody that's struggling in the industry.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
so with that, how do we stalk you online?
Ah! Well, obviously, I've got my Facebook page, Gail Nicholls,
Mhm.
and then I've also got a page as well, Gail's Nails, which is my like page. Instagram, I'm on Instagram as well. I'm just getting the hang of Instagram. It's quite difficult at first, but I'm getting the
Yeah.
hang of it now, and that's Gail's Nails at 123. I'm on Twitter as well under Gail's Nails. So I'm on pretty much nearly all of the sites. So
Yeah.
yeah, you can stalk me on there.
I love it. And as you all know, there's the good kind of stalking as well, and that's what we do
Yes,
here. And so
absolutely,
we love
absolutely.
to stalk you and stuff. So Scarlett just joined us, and she was like, "Queen,
Oh,
hello, hello." Lorraine says, "I'm getting back into nails," and she went straight to you. She knew
yes,
exactly where to
yeah,
find her mentorship, and I really like what you just shared with us. That is really where we need to go with that.
yeah,
Deb says she has a lot on her plate now, but give her a couple months and she will be happy to help. And that's so true. You have to take care of you first, and you have to get
absolutely,
yes, your
absolutely.
confidence there. You have to
Yeah.
have everything lined up before you can help somebody else, or you're not going to
Mm-hmm.
be able to help them wholeheartedly like what you would want to. And So with that being said, Gail, I just want to say thank you so very much for joining us live today and
Thank you for
sharing your
having
story.
me.
It's so
Oh,
inspirational. And, in the beginning, some of the comments people were saying, oh, I joined when I was 30 and I became a nail tech when I was 50. And, it's so true. It doesn't matter if you started at
age is
16,
just a
18.
number. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter how old you are. If you find something that you're going to love, whether you do it for yourself, whether you do it for your friends and family, or if you go in the big wide world and wanted to take it further, do it because you will love
yeah,
it. I love what I do. I love it with a passion.
you can tell.
That's me. I get so excited about anything that's new or courses that we're going on and things like that as a team and that I love it. I love it. I love our little get-togethers.
Yes,
It's
exactly that.
great.
So here's one thing I want you to be accountable to me for. Look, I'm already making rules. You're going to open up in the next couple of weeks your new academy. And I invite you to either go live in our group, which let me know when you want to, but we would love
Yes,
to see your academy and be able to promote it
absolutely.
again. And we'll
Yeah,
put the links of how to, join and be able to, if you're in
great.
the
That would
area,
be
to be able to stop
brilliant.
by. Yeah.
Yeah, I will do a live. I'll do a tour around
Yeah.
the salon and the academy with you with the phone. Yeah, absolutely.
I would love that. And so
Yeah,
whenever you're available, message me and we can either
I
set up a
will.
time or you can do it on your own because we're in different time zones. Do it
Yeah.
on your own and then I'll share it into our group.
Yeah, absolutely. Of course I will. Definitely. It'd be nice to share it with you, where we've gone from like doing the courses to like learning to do nails I did, then working in the florist, doing the courses, doing something that I really love to competing and then going back into the business after 12 years or so. It's a bit scary, but I know I'll be fine. I've got a good
Yeah,
team behind me.
absolutely. And you know what? Sometimes you just got to not think about it. You just
Yeah,
got to go.
just
You
do
just
it.
got to do it.
Like,
You know
go
it's going
forward.
to turn out and it's going to
Yeah.
turn out how it's supposed to, but you just got to go. Oh, I love it. You're so inspiring. In fact, Lorraine says the same thing. Great listening to you both. It's very inspiring. So thank you guys for joining us with Gail today as our special guest on Tech Talk Live.
Thank you.
In the comments, we'll put the links of how to get a hold of her. You guys know that if you go to the events section of our group is all the upcoming Tech Talk Live, which I have Katie Barnes coming on again, Rebecca Isaac and Robin Stopper all coming back on. Anyways, we have what I feel is an all-star lineup joining us again. And I just can't thank you guys enough for taking that time for that. And then you can always watch these on replay here in Tech Talk Worldwide, or you can go over to my YouTube channel at Amy Masters and you can find all the Tech Talks on there as well. And so thank you guys for supporting us. And thank you, Gail and Gemma and the entire nail team
Thank
for
you.
being such
Thank
an
you very much.
inspiration for all of us, all around the world, even.
Oh, thank you for inviting me, Amy. It's been a
Yeah,
pleasure and it's been great talking to you.
you as well. Thank you
Thank
guys so much. Mwah.